Don't miss your chance to win big every week on The Zone. This week on Win Ticket Wednesday, win tickets to Breaking Benjamin, and 3 Days Grace, live at Utah First Credit Union Amphitheater on September 27th. Tickets are on sale now at livenation.com. Listen to The Zone all day Wednesday for your chance to win. All right, Cougar fans, 3-0. BYU has little trouble with East Carolina and goes 3-0 in the non-conference. What's your evaluation of the team going into Big 12 play? People a little defensive, PK.
Why?
I don't know, the rivalry, high hopes, expectations, knowing people are going to bark at him. Thomas, a little trouble, minuscule. To which Joseph said, would you reread that? He didn't say a little trouble. He said little trouble. It's an entirely different statement than a little trouble.
That's true. I agree with that.
Missing one letter, one word.
Well, yeah. I mean, comma.
Changes it.
Can change everything. So, yeah, they had little trouble. I thought they had little trouble. I thought they were in basically command. I never felt they were going to lose. Never felt it was dangerous. Didn't go down to the end. Yeah, they had little trouble. What's wrong with that?
There wasn't anything, if you read it, as opposed to a little trouble. The offense unable to put the ball in the end zone in the first half, you can go to that for sure. But after that, settle down in the second half, move the ball, all was well at the end. And a big play on defense gave him a little breathing room. Maybe that was part of it. Halftime adjustments, settling down, whatever.
I think it's just a development and progression of Grizzly Bear. And he's right on schedule.
Don is with you. Getting better every week. Easing into Big 12 play has been great.
Feeling stronger every day.
Much better than the front-loaded schedule of Independence.
Everything is better than Independence.
Right. That would have been a big ask.
It didn't run its course. Yeah, I don't think they would have played him if that was the case. But they were going to play him this year. And so now that doesn't mean he's going to take the conference by storm. But you just look at him. I'm not a football savant here by any stretch. I talked to the guys. Talk to some, just leave it at that afterward, and they're happy with the progression. They know they made the right decision, and there's no wavering. They feel good about everything that he has been able to do to this point, understanding that it is to the point of a little bit of scratching the surface type thing, and there's going to be times when the pressure is ramped up and the game is on the line. It's the same thing with Dampier. In game 1 of the real test, he couldn't do it. We'll see what happens. He's got 8 more, probably 9, but he's got 8 more to go. We'll see what he can do. Bachmeier, he's gotten better. There's progression each week. He's not turning the ball over. He's not flipping with the passes. And that's the thing about it, it's about making good decisions when the moment presents itself. And so far, so good. L.J. Martin, they told us about this, that the guy's in his best shape of his life. His 3rd year in the program. It's set up for him to have a big season. You have to really listen when they talk. Sometimes people say stuff, and it can be more just
noise,
hopeful
noise,
rather than this is the way it's going to be. And I think with Aaron Roderick, if you listen to him, he'll tell you some things that he really feels strongly about. And, we and I have certainly had the benefit of being around the man for many years, and you get a feel for what they're about and what they say and what they believe and what they're not trying to send a message to the team through the media. Sometimes they do, but you got to know when they feel strongly about what they've got. One year that I can remember talking to Lance Reynolds about the offense in the coach, not the player, and he said, "Oh, we're going to be fine. We've got this player. I think it was Harvey Young coming in. He's going to be really good. Blah 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 blah." And these guys have got a lot of experience. There's no need for them to build up something like who was it? The last week, the Virginia Tech coach. Well, yeah, I know because I can see behind the scenes that they're getting better. Well, you're just trying to sell us something that isn't there, right? These guys, they're not trying to sell us something. And so he said that they were going to be good at running the ball, and they are. And Martin is looking really good. He looks like an NFL back. Knock on wood, throw salt over your shoulder, whatever, that he stays healthy, because if that's the case, they should be able to do that. And Bachmeier continues to get better. So for them, things are looking up. They should, right now, if you're a BYU fan, you should expect your team to be competing for the place, one of the two places in Arlington right now. And maybe that'll change in the coming weeks. But right now, no, that's a realistic expectation.
A lot of Cougar fans weighing in on this one. BYU, little trouble. Reed, though, too early to tell. Defense is solid, got more work to do. Have to see what happens in Boulder. Reed's not buying yet.
Well, I think you have to see what happens in Boulder. You have to see what happens in Provo. And
the West Virginia game?
Just check off all the games.
Oh, okay. I
I
thought you were going order down the schedule. No. More evidence game 4, more evidence game 5.
Yeah. Right. You're right. You're going to continue to build your case as you win. And I don't expect him to go 9-0. Somebody will eventually, but I don't think I ever predict it. And it'll happen probably. But I don't see it happen with the Cougars. But continue to build. Because even in the losses, you can come out of it with positives, if you lose a game, not everything is negative. A lot of it for Utah is you have to see the complexion of the game. That was a huge letdown for the Utes, no doubt about it. And for the Cougars going forward, what can they do and what can they build? And one of the things that I think is really important to notice is that the defensive backfield, they bring guys in. A kid like Johnson's been in the program. How many years now, Yak? Is this his third?
This is his fourth at BYU.
Fourth year. You remember one time, you remember this story.
Do you know where he went to high school, by the way?
Tell me.
On the Monterey Peninsula.
Yeah, I did.
Grew up in the shadow of Pebble Beach.
Yeah, that's a fine place. Young David Stockton for Gonzaga. He's lighting it up. And I get with Donnie Daniels when he was a coach over there. And I said, man, Stockton, how do you explain how well he's doing? It's his 5th year in the program. He looks at me, you idiot. And I didn't say that.
But the tone.
And I've known him forever, so we can have that conversation. He says, come on, this guy's been around forever, man. It's 5th year, and he was a big-time contributor his 5th year. These DBs, they've been in the program for a number of years. They don't have to go the junior college route where they're barely there, and they can get in Jay Hill's system. Jay Hill can recruit the guys he's looking for. Gennaro Guilford can coach them up, blah, 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 and Jay Hill coaching up the safeties, and you're having this production. And you listen to what Evan Johnson said. He said they told him, okay, this is what you're going to be doing. Look for this and this. He sees the 3-step drop, the proverbial jump the route, and it was a piece of cake. And boom. And I don't think they needed that play to change the game, but it certainly did. That changed everything.
Took a lot of pressure off.
Yeah.
Got a 10-point lead. You're going to feel a lot better about yourself.
Right. What a horrible call that was.
Oops.
I mean, what were you going to get with even if that pass is complete?
Where are you going?
With no timeouts, right? They had no timeouts. What are you hoping to accomplish here? Are you going to go down the field and get in the end zone in that situation? No timeouts, the clock dwindling? Probably not.
Best case scenario, you're going to pick up 4 or 5 yards and step out of bounds.
Right. Whoop-de-doo.
That's the big upside.
The risk reward was it was so skewed in the opposite direction of risk, but yet Johnson did it. And then he gets the pick in the end zone there. He played well. I assume he'd be in the running for Defensive Player of the Week. So when you got those kids, and they've been in the program, and they understand what you're doing, the concepts that you're trying to accomplish, away you go. And Jack Kelly continues to look like an animal. The animal, Jack Kelly.
You've given a new nickname.
The animal.
I could tell you loved that as soon as you said it. You were very satisfied.
Well, I got in trouble for my nickname for him. So
what?
It's okay. I called him Sack Kelly, and Lloyd said no.
Oh, what's wrong? But it's fine with me. But it rhymes with Jack. Obviously.
I got shouted down on social media for that one.
Oh, well, he's an animal, man. The guy can move, he can cover, he can hit. He's smart. Been playing football a long time. He's really good. Yeah.
Jason says, still a lot to prove. Defense and special teams, the kicking is elite. Return game has improved as long as Kingston isn't returning. The offense has improved, but it's going to get a lot tougher over the next month and a half. Why still 1 or 2 season-ending injuries away from a catastrophic season? They need better depth on offense. Yeah, I can see that.
I'd have to see who's injured and hopefully no one is. And they've already lost one, and lost JoJo, obviously. That's a blow, I think.
Leaning a lot on Chase Roberts and a lot on Carson Ryan.
Yeah, but you got some other guys there. Cody Hagan, he's just sort of making his mark right now. Let's see what he can do. He was a big star in high school.
Is there anybody behind LJ that you trust? I was going to say, is there anybody behind LJ? Obviously, there is. There's one running back.
Noah, but I don't trust him to the level of LJ Martin, which is why LJ Martin is the player. So, yeah. And that's that. You got to cultivate depth. But right now, he is far and away the best player. But the other guys, a kid like Moa, he hasn't been featured. So do I really know what he can do? If he was getting the ball 20 times or so, whatever it might be, what can he do? I hope I don't find out this year, because if Martin is healthy, it's not his time. It's his time to supplement and to come in relief. It's Martin's time. It's Martin's time right now, this very season, this very game.
Our defense is stellar, Brandon says. Kalani said Jay was mad that ECU scored a touchdown. I definitely saw progress in Bear and think as he gets experience, he'll be awesome. Jay was mad that ECU scored a touchdown. 12-play, 97-yard drives have a way of irritating defensive coordinators.
Yeah. I mean, it would have been cool if they didn't score a touchdown into the fourth game, and then you're going into the fifth game. But that's really neither here nor there in terms of the success of the season. That's a nice little thing that you got going on there statistically. Bronco, he once told me, he said, yeah, man, I was so excited at statistics when I was defensive coordinator, and then I became head coach. And I don't care about that stuff. I care about winning the game. And that's all that matters.
Coordinators get fired on statistics, and head coaches get fired on wins. Yeah. So if you're wondering what the motivation there is.
And he flipped his whole idea and ideology. It's about winning the game, and they won the game. But yeah, as far as being tested, abso-stinking-lutely, man. Especially you can argue Colorado, West Virginia, and Arizona. That's as easy as it gets. And then Utah on the 18th of October, I think it is. And I know their schedule. I believe it's just Saturdays the rest of the way, where it is Iowa State, Texas Tech, and TCU. So you got Utah, Iowa State, Texas Tech, and TCU. Yeah, that's pretty good competition. 4 games in a row. Yeah, I mean that's. So the tests that you're looking for, they will be there.
Coming games 7 through 10.
Yeah, and I can argue Saturday night, Colorado is going to be tough. I think, to your earlier idea, you talk about travel and the 2 time zones. I think any travel, throw out BYU Utah, right? It's a bus ride, but any other travel. If you win, celebrate.
Because you're not going to win that many road games.
Yes, and if you get one, consider it. It only equals 1, but it is huge, and that's Texas Tech. They were celebrating wildly. You could hear them. The radio booth is right next. They're going ape. I mean, they're just so, and they should. It's a road win in an environment like that. Are they going to face another environment on the road the rest of the season? I could argue no. With the Big Fox there, and I left my house at 7:45, right? It's 13 miles from my house to the stadium. And I'm up on I-215 heading north, right, on the east side. And I tell my wife, first time she's ever gone with me to Rice Eccles.
You're going to go 215 foothill to the stadium. Okay.
Yeah. Look way up on the hill, see your house. I said, if you get the binoculars, you can see where DJ lives. And so, she did and couldn't quite see it. I said, when we're on the freeway, I said, we're going to face traffic here. This isn't going to be as smooth. I was dead wrong.
You sailed right in?
Yes.
Everybody was already there?
It was awesome.
You had the LSU experience in Utah?
Yes. And some other experiences that I've had in other places, Madison, Wisconsin, on and on. Yeah. All the places where you think you'd have it. Yeah, absolutely, yeah. It was really, really cool. You fans showed out big time. And Texas Tech had to go in that environment, and then they're all fired up for the game, and then they own the game. Celebrate wildly, my friends.
Their road games are Houston, ASU, K-State, and West Virginia.
Who's?
Texas Tech, when you say they don't have another test like that.
Well, all things considered.
Yeah, well, I'm agreeing. I mean, there's the list. They don't.
Urban Meyer.
I would say that
Utah's going to win. Kyle's going to get another ring.
at ASU and at K-State, those,
They'll be
see that
fine.
Houston doesn't tend to draw.
Yeah.
So the atmosphere won't be as crazy. Maybe they got a really good team. Maybe they're breaking out and we don't know it. We'll see.
But if BYU goes on the road and knocks off Colorado, celebrate.
DJ and PK, it's 97.5 The Zone. Bronco Mendenhall, Utah State coach, joins us next. Stay with us.